Our next group, if you will, has come up with a way to bring families and close friends together in instances of severe medical affliction or terminal illness by crowdfunding. To explain, we have Kevin Crowe, who is part of Give a Mile. Crowdfunding.
Yeah, absolutely.
Crowdfunding. Explain crowdfunding first of all.
Yeah, for sure. So in the internet, there's kind of been a trend going on where people donate small amounts of money. Kickstarter is a great example of that, to get a project going or start a new company. So people can donate small amounts and have a huge impact. And so we thought, why don't we do that with travel loyalty miles? You know, everyone's got a little bit of travel loyalty miles. If you give 1,000 miles and you give 1,000 miles, we could get people on planes, and the people that we really wanted to focus on were people to support loved ones that were dealing with palliative or advanced illness situations, right? So you give 1,000 miles, you give 1,000 miles, we get a grandmother, a mother, a brother, a sister, a best friend on that plane, and they can have that visit of support.
Yeah.
And you're helping people who might not otherwise be able to go visit somebody who's ill or...
Yeah, absolutely. If anyone has experience dealing with, you know, a very serious illness, it can be financially devastating. You know, there's people that can no longer work. Obviously, you're spending money maybe on some treatments that are outside those covered. And so it can be really difficult to make a flight happen. And so we thought, you know, there's a crazy stat out there that there's 10 trillion unused travel loyalty miles globally every year. So now let's use these. Let's give them to people that could use this visit. And we know that being with loved ones is the best medicine there is. So we think it's a really powerful thing to make happen.
And you're not just traveling people across the country. Some of them are coming from miles and miles apart, like not just within Canada. Yeah, absolutely. International flights. We've made many international flights happen. And if you think about that, that's probably the most difficult flight to make happen in that situation. And anyone who, you know, has moved to Canada has probably a whole bunch of family that isn't here. And maybe you haven't seen that family in years. So then if you put in the mix dealing with a really serious illness or palliative care situation, it's how important it is to get that family connected. So the international flights, we've seen a lot of demand for that, and we actually were surprised by that. We didn't think there'd be so much demand, but it totally makes sense that these people need help with these flights.
How many air miles will make a difference? You know, I think to myself, oh, I'll give you 100. Is that going to make a difference? You mentioned 1,000?
Yeah, for sure. Our key partner is Aeroplan right now, and the minimum amount to donate is 1,000 miles, up to however amount you can donate. On average, it's about 25,000 miles for a flight, but 1,000 miles definitely helps us. And if you don't have miles, you can donate on our website at givemile.org. You can donate money as well, and $40 is about the equivalent of 1,000 miles for us.
And so what happens, because you still have to pay the taxes, right?
Absolutely.
So how does that get taken care of?
Yeah, we cover the taxes as well. We're 100% donation model, so all miles and money donated for a flight go to make that flight happen. Then we also raise funds to run our operations, usually through corporate donations, and we cover the taxes. We obviously don't want any burden on the family for these travels.
You've run into many stories of people who have benefited from this. Share with us a story.
So many incredible stories, and the families that you get connected to are incredible. Their sense of dignity in that storm is amazing. The story that's sticking with me right now is this amazing woman by the name of Marcella, who was in Calgary. She was dealing with stage 4 cancer. They had stopped treatment, and she was looking to get back to the Philippines to say goodbye to her mom and her brothers and aunt. And we got connected to her story, and I met Marcella and gave her her ticket, and she gave me the biggest 5-minute hug I've ever had in my life. And not only did she have to fly to the Philippines, but she had to take a train for 3 hours to see her family. And she said, you know, Kev, I don't know if I have the strength to make it, but I need to make this trip. And she went over and saw her family, came back, and unfortunately passed away several weeks later. But the courage and the strength of that woman was incredible. And then we got to meet her family after, and just talking with them how much that trip meant to everybody, and just how inspiring that whole family was. And it gives me goosebumps just thinking about it. So there's so many stories like that.
And vicariously, people who give are living that story as well, too.
Absolutely, and we're all about tangible outcome, right? So you know that you're making these flights happen, you know you're donating to that story, and so you know that person got on a plane. So you can, you know, it changes your DNA as well participating in this, for sure.
And it's easy to be involved in this.
Oh, absolutely.
It doesn't take much.
Doesn't take much. Go to givemile.org. You can donate miles and money there. You'll see the stories of the flights that are posted, and you know, this is owned by the community and made possible by the community, so we really appreciate support.
Yeah. It's a wonderful organization, and it's a great program.
Thank you.
And keep going, man. I mean,
awesome.
You know, you're getting support from a lot of people. people, so Calgarians are stepping up.
Yeah, our big, hairy, audacious dream is to give up 1 billion miles away. That'd be about 40,000 flights, and we know we can do it. We're going to make it happen.
Absolutely. Kevin Crowe is with Give a Mile. Thanks for coming in, man.
Thanks so much.
And keep raising those miles. This is fantastic. Still to come, changing Calgary one do-gooder at a time. First, here's what's happening in and around Calgary. This is Trending on Shaw.